as promised, here is some additional details about the reading that you did in the Crucible through page 73, and then some information as to what to look for on the pages ahead. I apologize in advance if you can hear my children in the background. I feel like every time I've hit record today, somebody has started to scream. Anyway, one of the things I want you to really take with you from that reading through page 73 is some of the stuff about Abigail Williams. She's going to become a very central character in all of this. One of the things that you want to know and remember is that she was accused of actually drinking a potion to kill John Proctor's wife. Now that's important because she's going to, in our future pages, which I'll get to here in a second, have a conversation with John where she clearly is still lusting after this married man. It's a little unclear as to whether or not an affair has actually occurred with him, but she supposedly in this forest scene that I previewed for you in the chalk driveway video, actually drank a potion in that forest to kill his wife because she wants to be with this man so badly. The other thing that's really important to note is that she's trying to stop all the other girls from talking about what happened in the forest that night, which is suspicious, right? Like we think about why would it matter if you guys weren't doing anything wrong? Why would it matter if anyone was talking about it or not? Okay, so she has a little bit of guilt written across her forehead, I'd say. Okay, so now we take a look at what's next. You see my lovely John Proctor has now entered the scene. While they are still awaiting Betty Paris to wake up and why the town is still starting to stir about all these other girls who are potentially acting kind of strange and then believing that witchcraft has been a new affliction in their town of Salem, Abigail and John Proctor have this kind of side conversation where they're outside the home of Reverend Paris and Betty Paris, and Abigail is just simply kind of hitting on him. You loved me, John. I miss you. You came back to see me. And he totally shrugs her off. It's over, Abigail. You're a child. I want nothing to do with you. Nothing's ever happening with us. And he kind of throws in like nothing will ever happen again, which makes us think that maybe something did, but he'll deny it a little bit farther into our story. And the screen, which is really hard to read up here, just tells you to remember that he is married. Okay, his wife is Elizabeth Goody Proctor. So as you read, you'll see a pretty funny exchange, just so clear of John denying Abigail's advances. Okay. More stick figures, guys. Look at these three. We've got John Proctor again, Mr. Putnam, and Giles Corey. Even though we're on this storyline that basically is all about figuring out the truth of the events that happened in the forest and who might be involved in this witchery and who might be going to trial for these actions, we have these three men, okay, debating over farmland and firewood, and basically like some business transactions. So you're going to see a conversation occur with them. Again, it's not going to necessarily tie back into the girls and the situation with them, but just something to kind of have a heads up about so you don't question what the heck are they talking about when it happens, okay? The next thing I want to point out is Salem is going to have a visitor by the name of Reverend Hale. That is not a nurse's hat. That's supposed to be a sign of the cross in religion that he's wearing on his top hat there. And he essentially is there to investigate what signs of witchcraft have already been recognized in the village. Okay, and the list starts to get a little long here. Some say that these girls can't eat, that they've been dancing, they sleepwalk, one of them tried to jump out a window, another's trying to fly. One of them laughed in church. And then also some of them are having bad dreams. So he's there to essentially investigate and try to find out some of the truth of the situation. Now the last thing that I want to point out about the reading that you have ahead and that you're going to see is that Tituba really becomes under fire. Now remember, she was in the forest with the girls that night. She's essentially accused of being able to cause people to have these bad dreams. She does, though, herself say that she loves God, that she is a Christian woman, essentially, and she believes the children are acting strange, but it's not because of her. That said, in order for her not to be put to death, she's kind of forced into some type of confession. And so she's kind of now blurred her name and its reputation in order to save her life. So it's really interesting to kind of think about being put into that situation, and just the hysteria. We read that article about Ebola in comparison to what's going on in our world right now, and the hysteria that some of these simple actions like dancing, like having bad dreams, is causing in people's minds. Okay, so happy reading, and I can't wait to see you on Monday, April